Hello, listeners. Welcome to this week's episode of the podcast, The Emotional People. Over the last couple of episodes, we have some wonderful speakers. We had Nidhi Garya, who is a mental health expert, as well as Meghnathan, who is an NLP expert. And I'm sure over the last 25 episodes, you would have got a lot of insights, a lot of idea about these aspects. Starting today, I wanted to share something very nice and very close to my heart. And that is about a book that I read long back. But now, as I was scrolling through it recently, I felt I should share more about it to my listeners as well. Because it's an amazing concept, it's an amazing thing that is explained in this book. So let's get going. The name of the book is IKIGAI. I'm not sure if you have heard about it. It's one of the international bestsellers. And it talks about the Japanese secret to the long and happy life. Now let me tell you what this is all about. Ikigai, as per the authors Hector Garcia and Francesc Miralles, it's a mysterious word. And they say the book, the idea itself, first came into being on one of the rainy nights in Tokyo, when the authors sat down for the first time in one of the city's tiny bars. They started to talk and interact with one another, and they found that they had a common interest. And after a year later, when they met, they were in Japan. They were somewhere in downtown Tokyo. They ended up talking a lot about Western psychology, specifically about logotherapy and different aspects of life. And some questions commonly came into their being. And they are we ask ourselves things like, what is the meaning of life? What is the point just to live longer? Or should we seek some higher purpose? Why do some people know what they want and have a passion for life while others languish in confusion? These questions was the brainstorming discussion between them when they came upon this mysterious word called Ikigai. It's the Japanese concept, and it says the happiness of always being busy is Ikigai. Okay, but then they decided, let's go a step beyond to find out what it is. And they found that it also seems to be one of the way of explaining the extraordinary longevity of the Japanese, especially in the island of Okhinawa, where they found that 24.55% people over the age of 100 for every 1 lakh inhabitants live far more than the global average, which means people are crossing 100 plus in this particular island, Okinawa. So what's their secret? This inquires them very much. So those who study why the inhabitants of this island in the south of Japan live longer than anywhere else in the world believe initially that it could be because of their healthful diet, or they think because these people live in the outdoors, they have their green tea and there's a subtropical climate which is very nice, and that must be the ikigai that shaped their lives. But somewhere the authors felt that there must be something more to it. This cannot be just a surface level thing. So they thought, is Ikigai the reason why there are more centenarians in Okinawa than anywhere else? How does it inspire people to stay active until the very end? What is the secret to this long and happy life? And they thought that this is a time for them to go and see and experience it themselves. Yes, and they went ahead. They say, in one particular place that they went, or as they explored more, they reached a place called Ugini, a rural town in the north end of the island, with a population of about 3,000. And that is the place where people boast about the highest life expectancy in the world. The fact that has earned this nickname for this village, the village of longevity. So can you imagine, Okinawa is where the most of Japanese shikuwasa, a lime-like fruit that comes from. That's a place. And they started to think, is this also a reason that Ugimi's secret to long life? Or it could be more that the purity of water, all of these things which are controlling them to make them live longer. This brought more and more curiosity into them. And they went more and they got settled in a place, in a village, where they want to be there and find out and understand more about this concept of Ikigai and how wonderful this is. So let me share something more that they that they found from this staying and experiencing things. So they say, as we conducted our interviews with the eldest residents of the town, we realized that something far more powerful than just these natural resources was at work. An uncommon joy flows from its inhabitants and guides them through the long and pleasurable journeys of life. Again, the mysterious Ikigai. But what is it exactly? How do you get it? It never ceased to surprise us that this heaven of nearly eternal life was located precisely in Okinawa, where 200,000 innocent lives were lost at the end of the World War II. Yes, as per the authors, this place had suffered a lot. But you know what? Rather than harboring animosity towards outsiders, the Okinawans lived by the principle of Ichariba Chode, a local expression which means treat everyone like a brother, even if you have never met them before. Wow, what a wonderful concept. So, this place is where they imbibe this concept in the children's right from the beginning. And along with it, there are a few more things. Things like nurturing friendships, eating light, getting enough rest, and doing regular moderate exercises are all part of equation to good health. So this is something which interested the authors a lot, and they went ahead, researched, and wrote this entire book. So they say the purpose of this book is to bring the secret of Japan's centenarians to you and give you the tools to find your own Ikigai. Because those who discover their Ikigai have everything they need for a long, joyful journey throughout life. Absolutely. I'm sure each one of us want to live long, want to be happy, want to do so many things in life, but then we don't know. So, if there are people around the world who have found the secret to it, who know how to live healthy and happy for the entire life, why not learn from them? And that's the main reason I brought this book in front of you. So, this is just the beginning, listeners, and going ahead, I'm going to go in depth into this book, wherein I will go to each and every chapter and I will bring to you the insights that are shared by the authors. And also, I will give you some ways that you can implement this in your own lives. And I'm sure this is going to take you a long way. So thank you once again for joining today and listening. Do continue to listen every Wednesday, and I'm going to share with you a lot of amazing insights about this book, and this is going to take you a long way. Thank you and see you all soon. Bye-bye.